Okay. I kept thinking you were telling me to stress that we hit a record, Chantel, not to hit record. Okay. So, all right. So we want to talk about goals. They are critical for any successful business or any successful endeavor you should ever take on. And I know we've all heard about goals before, but when we talk about goals in this business, we can get actually very, very specific. And that can help you as you continue to learn and grow and work towards improving and hit your goals. So the first thing that is important to say about goals is that if your goal is not written down, it is not a goal. For me personally, I wrote down my goals in December. And for me, handwriting is very important. I have a lot of journals. I take a lot of notes. And when I write things down, if something's bothering me, I can get it out and on in my past and keep going forward, not keep letting it bother me. But I'm the same way about goals. So I started with a sheet of paper and just kept writing things down for probably a week or two. And then I kind of went back over, fine-tuned it all, and I have them written up really, really nice and neat now after all that thought process. And I also have them in my phone on the notes so that I can pull them up at any time to remind myself, which I think is really important because setting goals, if you are focused on them, they can help you do the work you need to do. Even on the days maybe you wake up not feeling well or the days you wake up feeling tired, looking at those goals can be what will help you get moving again. So it's always best to start with your annual goal. And guys, I did that. And for me, my goal this year is to hit 400,000. I want to be Hall of Fame. I want to have that red jacket. I really, really do. I think I've told a lot of you, red is my favorite color, and I look really good in it. Those aren't the main reasons, but those are side reasons why I want that jacket. All right. But then from that, I'm able to, divide by 12. And even me, who's not good in math or numbers, I can do that. So I need to be issue paying $35,000 a month to hit that 400,000, right? So from there, again, divide by 4. And I need to be submitting about $15,000 per week to be able, because you have to also factor in that when we submit business, not everything will be approved, and a few people will cancel or withdraw, the crazy ones anyway, and will so submitting $15,000 should help me equal the $35,000 even with those factors involved. So when you start to, if you get really precise on your annual goals, then it makes it very easy to break it down to monthly and weekly, and then that can help you, again, stay work-focused even when you're tired or don't feel well or anything like that. So after that, you really do have to follow up. Once you got it down to a weekly level, it has to follow up with action. You have to have an action plan because goals you can write them, and then they are a goal. But if you don't have an action plan and then actually start doing the activity that goes with the action plan, it's just a piece of paper, okay? And as hard as the mindset part of this business can be, if you have that piece of paper and then you have it with what I need to do, it really can help propel you that way. For me, that is breaking down to I need 24 to 30 appointments per week. So I was able to break it into that way. And I have other goals listed, and we can go over those. But I really do want to point out, that the weekly appointment goal and the weekly submit goals, you want to get down to that level of fine-tuning to help you. And, to hit those goals in this business, there are certain things that we have to do. And, Chantel, you want to talk to us about that?
Yeah, so So to first, obviously we all know, and many of you went to conference, so you saw all the lead vendors there. Lead flow is going to be critical to be able to, it's like putting the gas in your car. You can't go anywhere without it. You can't go anywhere without the leads. So I know some people are struggling right now with making sure that they get that consistent lead flow, and I think that's the reason why Paige and I thought that this call was important to do right now. You hear it a lot, but it truly is like the most important thing for you guys to do to keep going. So obviously the lead flow, like Paige just said, if you want to book like 25, 30 appointments a week for a full-time agent, you're going to need to have 50 to 60 leads. So when you're starting and you don't have a backlog of leads, like Paige was just saying, like 20, 25, that's because Paige got a backflow of leads that she can keep going through. But when you're starting, you're going to need to have 50 to 60 because you don't have a backlog. Okay, so you're going to need to make sure you have 50 to 60 so you can book the 25 to 30. Now you're going to have people that hang up. You're going to have people that you can't get through to. So then you're going to have like your door knock pile. You're going to have your, hey, maybe we'll set these people aside and try them back again later. Or maybe you'll end up giving them to another agent to try. But right now, 50 to 60 should yield you 25 to 30 appointments. Schedule is also extremely important. If you want to be able to book your 25 to 30 appointments to be able to reach your goals, the most critical thing that you have to keep in mind is dial day is dial day. You got to protect that. You've probably heard it over and over for anybody that's been on the calls before. If you're brand new, that is the most important day. If you mess up dial day, you're going to mess up your whole week. Okay? We've all made the mistake. I've done it. Paige has done it. We've all done it. Okay? Where
Amen.
you get that one client that says, no, I'm slammed. I can't do it the day that you're going to be there. But then they say, well, what about the day that's going to be your dial day? We've all done it. We've all taken that one appointment. That is going to end up messing up how many appointments you get scheduled. Okay? I can't stress that enough because I have done it. I've done it more than once. So make sure that you have at least 2 dial days that nothing else is going to get in your way. If you make sure you protect that time, you make sure you've got the whole day set aside for that, there should be no reason why you don't have, so if you've got the leads and you've got your dial time, there should be no reason why you don't make that goal, okay? Mindset is also crucial because without the mindset that you're going to do it and that you can do it and that the leads were filled out with people that need your help. Without that, you're truly not recognizing that this is a business and taking it seriously, okay? So make sure that you guys work on your mindset. It's a daily activity. If you're struggling, call somebody for help. Paige and I are here. Reach out. There's other people across FFL. Facebook. Find somebody that can help you. I know Paige and I both love Dave Anderson. He's got the podcast. I know some of you are, listening to that every morning just to help you get your mind right, help you, make sure that you keep yourself in check. Also, your activity. Your activity will work out any issue that you've got. Okay? Now, everybody has things come up that are not planned. Like perhaps you're not feeling good. You get sick and you're down for a day, or you've got a car repair that needs to be done, or maybe your house needs something, some maintenance or something, or a family member gets sick. There's always going to be something, and we're not, nobody's immune to that, okay? We're all human beings, and we all have stuff come up. but your activity will outwork any issue. Okay, so I don't think a lot of people truly grasp what it is we have, like what the opportunity actually is. When you realize, like, you know, I think I was sitting in a client one time, it was several months ago, and, you know, we're talking about budget and what they can afford, and, you know, and what they're telling me is, you know, well, when it rains, I don't get to work as much. So the weather affects my ability to make money. I mean, yeah, weather can affect it, but the good thing about what we've got is that we can work harder on the days that it's not. So, hey, if the weather ends up affecting you running business, like, hey, the East Coast floods and we can't run there, or the west side of the state is under 12 inches of snow and you can't get there, when it melts, when, you know, or there's other areas to go, we can outwork any of that. Pick up some leads somewhere else and go. Or pick up time that you normally don't go. Like, hey, if you don't normally run on, like, Tuesday, go run Tuesday. You can do it all day long. So you can outwork any issue that you've got. Get with us regarding your goals, guys. Next week, what we're going to do is we're gonna have you all on the call to discuss your goals and action plan, just so that we can get some. We really want to create a culture here in our team, and we want everybody to help everybody get to where they want to go. So we thought if you guys will all get on the call next week with your goals and your action plans, that we will all talk about it and make sure that we hold each other accountable, make sure that everybody's in the right position to be able to accomplish those goals, and just to see if there's anything that we can do to help you. Like, some people, it's accountability. Some people might be lead flow. Some people, it might be sticking to the schedule. So whatever it is, we want to make sure that we help you guys get there, because I know Paige and I are really, like, striving to hit Hall of Fame. We both want to hit VP. First, we need to hit sales manager. Once we hit sales manager, our empowerment and Continental are going to be, they're going to create emblems for us, and we'll be able to really market our brand, okay? And then that will attract others. And if that's attracting others, then that's also going to help everybody. So if everybody's wanting to grow, us all reaching there together, it truly does take a team, guys. We really appreciate everything that you guys do. Everybody's working hard, and we really just truly want to help everybody get there. Also wanted to talk about how you guys can get creative with leads, okay? Sometimes people, like Janine this week, was struggling waiting for her leads to come in. There was a bit of a hiccup. They turned them off. And anyway, but how you can get creative, okay? One of them is Facebook posts. I don't know if you guys all know Charles Hines on our team. He's out in the Midwest, but he used to be very, very good at posting, like, daily, actually sometimes several times a day. And he would just be like, hey, I can get you, like, he has a lot of friends that were the same age as him, so he'd be like, hey, I can get you insurance for X dollars a month. Ping me. You know, and he would just all the time make a post like, if you haven't done this yet, you should. It's cheap. You know, but make it relevant to who your audience is. That's, you know, one way to do it. Paige, you want to?
Yes. And can you
cut
hear
in
me,
with
Chantel?
anything? Yep, I can.
Okay. So, guys, I don't know if you saw, there was a post by Brian Mendenhall it came across on a lot of the group Facebook pages. I believe he had a friend or someone close to him that passed away with no insurance. And he was pretty much beating himself up because he had never reached out to them to say, hey, I do this. Let me come help you. or can I please come help you? So don't be afraid. You're all successful at this already. Number one, because you passed that state exam. It is not an easy thing to do. So don't feel like you aren't good enough or professional enough to talk to your family and your friends. Think about how you would feel if someone very close to you passed away and they did not have any insurance. And then there was a financial scramble, a GoFundMe page, or, heaven forbid, passing around the collection plate at a funeral to help pay for the funeral you're sitting in. You want better than that for the people you're close with. So don't be afraid to let them know you do it. And Facebook posts are a good way, group text, or even just as you're having conversations with your friends or your family, say, hey, I'm doing this right. I work with A+ rated companies. I can shop around for you. Don't be afraid to do that, because I don't personally want to have that feeling if it's a friend of mine whose, family is now struggling. And then, Chantel, I wanted to mention, I'm hearing really good things about another lead source. And again, we are talking about being creative with the leads to help be sure you have the lead flow to hit your goals. So there are new retro leads that are everybody's, a lot of people have been using and talking about. And I've heard from several different agents that they're having really good luck with them. Basically, it's mortgage protection leads from 2 or 3 years ago that they never got the coverage. So the mailers are going out to them with their original form and then an attachment that says, hey, our records show you never got this, and new benefits are available. And then they have the option to fill it out and send it in. So mortgage leads are only generated when someone buys a new house or they refinance or they take out an equity loan on their home. So, if we're in a period where people aren't, home sales aren't sky high, this is a really good way to supplement your mortgage protection. They're not as expensive as the top. I don't know the exact amount, but I do have the person's name, the lead company, and the lady's name who's specializing in this. So if anybody has, an interest, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can text me or whatever, and I'll get that to you. And, the second chance leads, those are, some people are like, oh, they're not any good. Well, no lead is going to be good if you don't have the right mindset. The right mindset is that every single lead, new, old, it doesn't matter. They're all a family that needs help, right? And it's our job to overcome the phone objections and get there and see if we can put them in a better position. So, there's a top producing agent who all his leads are in states away from him. He has to travel to all of them. And he needed a break, but he still needed to work. So he got a ton of second chance leads right in his neighborhood, right in his own state, where he's only an hour to 2 hours instead of overnight stays. And he said, you know what, it's taking more time on the phone, but I'm booking them and I'm selling them and I'm getting a higher return on my investment. And I'm also getting the break from travel that I needed. And then I'll get, back to my travel. So don't be afraid to use those second chance leads. That Richard Talbot is doing that. James Weir, when he first came in, that was all he was using. And you can reach out to any of these people directly, and they'll give you pointers on what they did, how they did it, if they tweaked their phone script at all. So that's a really good one. And Chantel, I know you need to tell us about the one that you got to, that the lady couldn't get coverage, or she was sick and you had to leave, right?
Right. Yeah, and just to back up about calling some of these older leads, I believe Melissa sends out in our information, our welcome package, I think when it gets down to hey, how to prepare to get in the home, there's a phone call that James Weir did when he was calling 50-cent leads, 50-cent $3 leads. So there's a recording of that if you want to listen to it. You just reach out to Melissa. She can get that to you. So the client that I went to see on Monday, okay, you get there, and it's like the dreaded appointment, right? You get there, and you see the big sign on the door, oxygen in use. And it's like, oh, geez. So I get in there, and she's in the living room on the hospital bed, right? She's got oxygen. She's got to be 500 pounds, and she's in pain. Somebody stole her pain medication, so she could barely talk. She was in so much pain. So anyway, obviously she was going to be AIG. It was a fairly quick appointment. She didn't have a bank account. She couldn't figure out how to do it. So long story short, I was leaving, but her cousin and his wife were out in the yard. So when I get out there, there's a grandson sitting up on the deck, and they're sitting in the yard. So I just say, any of you need insurance? And they're like, yeah, we definitely need insurance. So I pull up a lawn chair and I write up 2 policies, one for him, one for her. So, I mean, stretch out anybody that you come across, the neighbor, whatever. I mean, I know some of you are good at that, but I know I've not always been good at that. I kind of had my head down, I'm doing my thing, and hey, don't mind me. But, had I not I wouldn't have got those 2 policies. I wouldn't have protected those 2 people. Now, they just had a family member die, so it's all on their mind. And obviously they're watching their cousin, in a hospital bed and with oxygen. So they understand that they need it. But a lot of these people, they might not know how to go about it. So maybe they're not getting things mailed to them. They are in an apartment. So I don't know how the mailings go with junk mail, with apartments. Maybe it's not as heavily hit, because I know for us, when we're looking at our lead sources, I know we can say we don't want apartments. So you got to think about it in that way. If we can say, hey, we don't want apartments, well, what about the people that live in the apartments? If they're not getting mail to them with the opportunity, maybe we should be saying, hey, a little bit more of the people in the apartments. So just FYI, lift your head up, tell people, what it is you do. And, actually last week I did the same thing with next door neighbor, with the lady I was writing the annuity for. He thought I was a nurse. I'm like, no, I'm not a nurse, but do you need life insurance? So I went over and spoke to him. Now, he didn't have any information together, whatever, so I got to go back. But, open your mouth to people. Tell people who you are and what you do, and if you can help them.
And that's really important, because you never know what you'll generate. And then also asking for referrals. We have brand new agent Chris, and he said to me yesterday, I'm determined to ask that in every appointment. He's written 2 applications, and he has a list of referrals. Those are free leads. Those are people, you have just sat down and helped a family. Those are people they know that they think need help. They need us too. So don't be afraid to ask for referrals. Definitely ask for them. If you're writing an application, they like you and they trust you. So, to ask anybody else in your family, can I help anybody else in your family like this? Or any of your friends or church members. Guys, you'll be amazed at what will come your way. And, Chantel, you kind of hit on, the activity will outwork any issue. Before we wrap up, I just want to be sure, I know everybody, we do get sick and we do have life challenges. If Chantel and I were to take a minute each and go through the list of personal or family challenges we've had since we got started in this business, we would have your toes curling. And, that's how life is. When you're aiming to do something good, the obstacles are going to be thrown in your way. And, I think everybody who went to conference just heard there is a way to work around it, or to choose how you're going to accept it and how you're going to work through it. So we are here for you guys through anything. Hurricane Florence tried to ruin my business. Ice and snows tried to ruin Chantel's. She's been sliding down the highway before. We've been through it, and we are here to help you guys. Don't forget to reach out to us about your goals because, again, next week we are going to have the line open so that we can each talk about ours and hopefully inspire each other and also continue the really awesome cheerleading that we have and, pull in for each other that we have. I really appreciate all those thumbs up and yays and everything on the WhatsApp, guys. It's a true team environment that we've got, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of it and prouder to be working with all of you. So we look forward to hearing how you interpret all this next week. All right, make it a good one, everybody, and Chantel and I look forward to hearing from each of you.
All right, have a great day, guys.